Big data, hype or reality? Enterprise clients are asking me if big data is a hype or reality. So let me share my point of view on the hype versus reality aspects of big data. Where does the hype come from? Big data usually means all things to all people. There are many definitions for big data. Yet the most misleading is the name itself, which somehow implies size. The bigness in big data is the most essential characteristic of big data. This then leads to the next important question. Do I have big data? Or do I have the big data problem within the enterprise? To answer this question, we must first ask another question. What is big data really? We can begin to examine the characteristics of big data, the ones that are widely popular, like volume, velocity, and the ones that are not widely popular, but much more significant, like variety, veracity, and volatility of the data. Variety usually has to do with different types of data. For example, consider the structure and format leading to structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, and multimedia. Now let us examine the veracity of big data, which is usually about uncertainty of the data. When we doubt the data for completeness, ambiguity, inconsistencies, latencies, and approximation. Volatility of the data is usually about the staleness of data. When the state of the data changes with user session data, user credentials, and user authentication. Herein lies the real complexity of processing big data and investing for growth of the data. Traditional relational structures for storing such data is schema-bound and highly constrained. Hence the emergence of schema-less and flat schema-based architectures and technologies for big data. Now we can define big data as exceeding the capability, structures, and confines of conventional databases and systems requiring alternate ways of processing, different infrastructures, and computing paradigm shift to process such data, exploiting and unlocking the value within it. Commodity hardware, diverse cloud technologies, open source software, and the adoption of massively parallel, highly distributed architectures makes processing of big data extremely feasible for large and small enterprises with fantastic cost-effective resource investment. Data science platforms and infrastructures allow for easy exploitation of the data, and these forces are fueling the disruption and expediting the adoption curve. The growth of data has exploded in the last couple of years with the proliferation of devices and social networks. 80% of this data is unstructured information such as text, reports, articles, research papers, product documentation, emails, messages. The list is unending. Enterprises have this data within and outside its ecosystem, with the fantastic opportunity to unlock its value. Within the disjoint datasets in the enterprise lie valuable patterns and information previously hidden because of the scarcity of capital investment and high processing cost and resources required to extract them. The future belongs to those enterprises that have invested and built infrastructures and capabilities to collect, harness, and unlock the value in their data. Big data is no longer hype, despite the misleading aspects of it. The total big data market reached $11.4 billion in 2012, ahead of Wikibon's 2011 forecast. The big data market is projected to reach $18.1 billion in 2013, an annual growth of 61%. This puts it on pace to exceed $47 billion by 2017. That translates to a 31% compound annual growth rate over the 5-year period 2012 to 2017. Source: Wikibon. Learn more in the Data Speaks series Point of View and other advanced topics